From unexpected character deaths to sudden villain turns, and a certain genre-hopping surprise that absolutely nobody saw coming. Each and every one of these recent TV twists all certainly proved bold, unexpected, and provocative, regardless of whether you personally vibe with them or not. Obviously, we're heading into spoiler territory here, so you have been warned. So with that in mind, I am Gareth, this is What Culture, and here are 10 recent TV show twists nobody saw coming. Number 10, Maria Hill dies in the first episode, Secret Invasion. Marvel Cinematic Universe fans were stoked to see Maria Hill get an apparently beefy role in Secret Invasion after being kept on the sidelines for so many years. But nope, the Marvel bigwigs evidently had other ideas. Sods about that. At the end of the very first episode, Hill is shot and killed by Skrull villain Gravik. And yet, given that Secret Invasion is a show centered around shape-shifting aliens, many fans understandably assume that we probably didn't see the real Maria Hill die, but rather a Skrull impersonator, right? Lol, wrong. The real Hill does indeed die in the very first episode, with no surprise return made later in the series. It's a shocking turn of events that also left many fans legitimately pissed off. Both that Hill didn't get to hang out with Nick Fury for a few episodes first, and that her death was basically wasted on a show as aggressively mediocre as this. Now I've got a quick question for you. Which TV death has annoyed you the most? Was it Maria Hill dying in Secret Invasion or something else? You let me know in the comments section down below. Number 9, Asher Goes to Space, The Curse. Nathan Fielder's sublime dark dramedy series The Curse is a totally bewildering and unforgettable experience from start to finish. Starring Fielder and Emma Stone as Asher and Whitney Siegel, a married couple who host a reality TV show called Fliplanthropy. The show covers their attempts to get a season of TV filmed, while also trying to get pregnant, as Asher suffers with a curse apparently placed upon him by a young child in the show's first episode. Don't you just hate it when that happens? But the finale takes a totally bat S-word avenue that nobody could have seen coming. Suddenly, gravity in the couple's home just breaks, causing Asher to end up floating on their bedroom ceiling just as Whitney goes into labor. What a nightmare! Whitney is taken to hospital all while Asher attempts to break free from this gravitational anomaly, which follows him outside the house where he ends up desperately clinging to a tree. At episode's end, however, firefighters cut the tree branch, causing Asher to fly upwards into the sky, disappearing from sight. Whitney gives birth, and then we're shown Asher's ultimate fate, floating lifelessly in space. The curse was never going to have a conventional ending, but Nathan Fielder taking a presumably fatal trip to space? What in the hell? Number 8, Golden Boy kills himself, Gen V. Props to Amazon for resisting the urge to give away Gen V's absolutely wild first episode twist, where superhero Luke Reardon, aka Golden Boy, goes on a violent rampage on campus, killing Professor Brink before taking his own life, using his pyrokinetic abilities to explode himself into a bloody mist. It's a hugely shocking moment, all the more so as the show's marketing made no inkling at all that Golden Boy would not be sticking around for the long haul, instead presenting him as a main member of the roster. Between the casting of Patrick Schwarzenegger, yes, the son of Arnold, and Golden Boy's stature as a big soup on campus, to see him taken out of the running so soon was a genuinely jaw-dropping surprise. If nothing else, it proved that The Boys could still catch viewers well and truly off guard, and that despite the IP's enduring penchant for edgy imagery and unhinged twists, it certainly hasn't lost its ability to stun. Number 7, Hank Nuked Shady Sands, Fallout. The Fallout games probably should have conditioned us to be distrustful of parents in this universe, but our collective love for Kyle MacLachlan evidently blinded us. In the first season's final episode, Lucy is finally reunited with her kidnapped father, Hank, only to learn a horrifying truth. Hank is the one who nuked the NCR capital, Shady Sands. He did so after his wife and Lucy's mother, Rose, fled Vault 33 with their kids. Upon realizing that civilization had resumed above the surface, Hank, seemingly fearful that Vault 33 would be revealed to the surface world, retaliated by retrieving Lucy and her brother Norm and promptly blowing Shady Sands to smithereens. This in turn transformed Rose into a feral ghoul, the very same one who sits within Moldaver's compound when Lucy learns all this information. That's a lot. That is a lot to take in. And because that's not enough, Lucy then decides to kill Rose to end her years of suffering. Damn. Number 6, Agent Ericson is Kira, Death and Other Details. In the penultimate episode of Hulu's murder mystery series, Death and Other Details, we learn that Interpol agent Hilda Ericson is actually Kira, the presumed dead mother of protagonist Imogene. It's additionally revealed that Kira faked her death when Imogene was a child in order to escape hitmen sent to kill her, after which she dedicated her life to blackmailing wealthy malcontents while working under the mysterious pseudonym Victor Sams. But what's really clever about the Ericson equals Kira twist twist is that we actually see Kira a few times in flashbacks throughout the series, with actress Linda Emon playing the part while also portraying Agent Ericson in the main contemporary timeline. And yet, clever makeup and hairstyling ensured that the majority of viewers didn't have a damn clue they were looking at the same actress as both characters, allowing the sneaky subterfuge to go off without a hitch. Well played! It sure was a risk though, because if the makeup wasn't up to par, eagle-eyed viewers would have figured it out in record time. Thanks for checking out this video today, folks, and if you're enjoying what you're watching, then hit that subscribe button down below for more what culture stuff in your day. Number 5, Joselyn was in control all along, The Idol. HBO's widely loved drama series The Idol revolves around a pop star called Joselyn, as she is preyed upon by a predatory nightclub owner called Tedros. Though the bulk of the series leads us to believe that Joselyn has fallen victim to Tedros' manipulations, the final episode drops a head-scratching clanger by heavily implying that Joselyn isn't quite as vulnerable as she seems. It's suggested that Joselyn's stories of being abused by her late mother were actually untrue, and ultimately just part of a plan to ensnare Tedros and win sympathy from her fans. By show's end, the implication is clear. Joselyn is actually the one in control and the real cult leader type figure, not Tedros. While the execution of this big reveal is ultimately incredibly clunky, it's nothing if not a wildly unexpected departing revelation, and a fittingly outrageous one for a show as aggressively absurd as this. Number 4, Chucky kills the president, Chucky. Chucky's recently concluded 3rd season was absolutely freaking insane, and though the season had everyone's favorite murderous doll causing all manner of death and mayhem in and around the White House, did anyone really expect him to go there? In the season's 5th episode, Chucky breaks the ultimate taboo by brutally murdering President James Collins, gouging out his eyes and ripping a good chunk of his face off. Given that American network TV shows are incredibly squeamish about killing off sitting presidents, it was a genuine shock to see Chucky's POTUS get murdered, and in such nauseatingly violent fashion, no less. They really went for it, but because Chucky just wouldn't be the same without Devon Sawa, who has played different characters in every season so far and died nastily in each of them, he swiftly returns as a presidential body double who temporarily takes Collins' place. Yet is himself also killed before season's end. Amazing stuff. Number 3, Aiden breaks up with Carrie, and just like that. The 2nd season of Sex and the City follow-up, and just like that, brought Carrie's old flame Aiden back into the mix, and seemed to be teeing up the pair finally getting their happily ever after when they start dating again. The pair even move in together later in the season, with Carrie doing the one thing nobody ever expected her to do: move out of her lush New York City apartment. Why would you do that? I mean, look at it. But because we just can't have nice things. In the season finale, Aiden's teenage son Wyatt drunkenly crashes his truck, forcing Aiden to realize his sons still need him. At this point, Aiden breaks things off with Carrie, heading back to Virginia to be with his kids. And that's not all. He gets Carrie to agree to a 5-year pause on their relationship, by which time Aiden's kids will be 18 years of age and he'll return to her, or so he claims. It's a twist that naturally went down like a lead balloon with fans, who felt like they were being jerked around and deprived of a final happy ending for Carrie, simply to drag the show out for another couple of seasons. It comes so wildly out of left field that some have even claimed that Aiden must have planned to dump Carrie all along, out of revenge for her cheating on him decades earlier. All the same, knowing that Carrie is now on the hook for half a decade while Aiden sorts his kids out, which is no guarantee, mind, is not the big reveal any Sex and the City fan was expecting or hoping for. Bit of a letdown, really. Number 2, Sugar is an alien, Sugar. Apple's new mystery drama series, Sugar, stars Colin Farrell as John Sugar, a private detective who is hired by a movie producer to investigate the disappearance of his granddaughter. Though the show strikes an unconventional note from the jump, with its chaotic camera work and sly implication that something's a little off with Sugar, who among us saw that big reveal coming? No, you didn't, I see through your lies. At the end of the show's 6th episode, we learn that Sugar is in fact an alien, and that the other members of the mysterious polyglot society he surrounds himself with are also aliens, each of them sent to Earth with vague orders to observe. Even accepting Sugar's eccentricities before the big reveal, this remains one of the wildest, most left-field twists in any TV show in recent memory. It clashes so jarringly with the series' overall film noir-inspired tone, and yet it's just fascinatingly weird enough to actually work, even if it definitely will not hit for everyone. One can only hope that Apple will renew the show for a 2nd season so we can learn a bit more about precisely what Sugar and his extraterrestrial pals are really up to on Earth. We need some answers. And number 1, the cleaning ladies killed the researchers, True Detective Night Country. The big mystery of True Detective's polarizing 4th season was, who killed the researchers working at the Salal Research Station? Well, in the final episode, we learned that they weren't forced out into the snow by a supernatural force, but were killed by some of the cleaning ladies working for the station. The cleaners found evidence of the researchers killing a local woman called Annie Kautuk, and so took it upon themselves to mete out revenge. They broke into the facility in the middle of the night, forced the men out into the snow at gunpoint, made them strip, and left them there until they died from exposure. Given the series' many supernatural leanings, it was quite a surprise for the ultimate resolution to be so, grounded. Even if the visual of these gun-toting cleaning ladies bursting into the research station was more than a little silly. And if nothing else, it only further compounded just how divisive this entire season's storytelling approach really was. Oh yeah, and that you don't mess with cleaning ladies, folks.